Yep, yep, yep. You already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And yeah, it was a tough loss tonight. You know what I mean? It was a tough loss. But I'm not as angry as I am with other losses. You know what I mean? Because there were a lot of things that I really liked tonight. There were a lot of things I really didn't like tonight as well. You know what I'm saying? But we were playing one of the most talented teams. Well, I don't. It's arguable, but that have some of the most talented players on their team in the league, with the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. And if you guys remember what Brooklyn did to us in DC, the only game I have went to this season, when they did us so dirty, you know what I mean? It was hard for me to think that they were going to win tonight's game, even though they played well in their previous game against the Timberwolves. But I did want to see just a better effort overall, and I believe they played much better. It's not even I believe. They played much better than they did against the Nets when we played in DC a few weeks ago. You know what I mean? But there were a lot of things that I didn't like. But since we lost the game, I'm going to start with the things that I did like tonight. You know what I mean? So overall, man, I think the offensive ball movement, I really liked it for the most part throughout the game. I thought the offense ran well. The Nets are one of the best defensive teams in the league. We can't forget that. You know what I'm saying? But they are one of the best defensive teams in the league. So I thought that our ball movement was, good. I thought that we made an emphasis to get to the scoring the post tonight, and we made an emphasis to get to the basket. You know what I mean? Drive the ball, get to the basket, play downhill. And quite frankly, that's how we have to play. And that's one of the things that I like the most tonight about tonight's game was that for us to play our best ball, we have to play inside out. We have to drive to the basket, and if the lane's closed, pitch it back to the three-point line, get an open shot. But we can't play a perimeter first game. We are scoring a post team, scoring a paint team, and I really like the fact that they made an emphasis to try to score, get to the basket tonight. You know what I mean? I thought Kristaps Porzingis played another good game tonight. He didn't have 41 points like he did against the Timberwolves, but he did have 19 rebounds. You know what I mean? He had 27 points, which isn't bad either. That 27 and 19, I think he only had, how many turnovers did he have? He only had 2 turnovers. You know what I mean? So just seeing that, hold on. Okay. Yeah, just seeing that, just 2 turnovers, 27 points, 19 rebounds with 2 blocks. You know what I mean? This is what we want from Kristaps Porzingis. You know what I mean? He had 15 points in the first half. He had a double-double by the third quarter. So he played very well tonight. Minus he only got to the minus the free throws. 9 for 14, not good enough. I mean, that's for a center. Well, we know Kristaps Porzingis can shoot, so it's not an excuse. It's still, better than a lot of centers in the league, but for Kristaps Porzingis, that was a terrible night from the free throw line. You know what I mean? But he played very well, in my opinion. Kyle Kuzma also, I thought, played well for the most part tonight. Drove to the basket, set the tone, pushed the pace. You know, the things that Kyle Kuzma does. He played 40 minutes tonight. 10 for 25 from the field, 40%. So he didn't shoot the ball that well, and 25 shots. 2 for 8 from the three-point line. Yeah, he shot the ball a little bit too much. You know what I mean? 25 shots, 10 for 25. You know what I'm saying? So it took him 25 shots to get 25 points. So that's not really an efficient night. You know what I mean? So I didn't like the fact that he shot the ball so much. So that's definitely not good. But I thought overall he was a factor. He played some good defense. Only 4 rebounds. I thought he had more. You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought he had more rebounds than that. But I thought he played okay. I'm not going to say he played bad. He made the like list because he was effective at times tonight. But looking at the box score, I didn't realize he shot the ball so much. You know what I mean? 25 shots. You gotta pass that ball, brother. You gotta get close to that 6, 7, 8 assists that we like from you. That's when we play our best ball. So, you know, it's a mixed bag, but I think it was more good than bad tonight from Kyle Kuzma, although he didn't shoot the ball well. I thought the team rebounded the ball very well tonight. I think we won the rebounding battle. We had 51 rebounds to the Nets 34 rebounds. So that is a weakness for the Nets. They're light in the paint. You know what I mean? So we really took advantage of that. We rebounded the ball very well, and I was extremely happy with the defensive effort in regards to rebounding tonight. You know what I mean? I thought Denny, he didn't score well tonight. He didn't score too much tonight, but he played his role, and I thought there were times where he played some great defense, man. He played some great defense on KD at times when he could. KD went off on us, so let's not say – I didn't say that Denny stopped him. I didn't say that he was a big factor or anything like that, but he did play solid defense, got his hand in the face, and then made some shots that Durant had to take tough. You know what I mean? That's all you could ask from a defender, because KD is one of the best players, the best scorers in NBA history. You know what I mean? So he scored again tonight, went crazy on us again tonight, but I thought Denny played well on defense at times tonight, man. And also, he was driving to the basket. He was more aggressive on offense. Again, he didn't score too much, but he tried to take the chances that was presented to him, driving to the paint, drawing fouls, getting to the line. You know what I'm saying? But, he didn't shoot the free throws. Only had 2 free throws, but it felt like he was driving the ball to the lane and, drawing fouls. So I definitely like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like Denny's game tonight. He played within himself, and he played well. You know what I'm saying? So, he played his game. You know what I mean? And I definitely wasn't mad at him tonight for the most part. I thought Bradley Beal, especially in the first half, I thought he played with pace. I thought that he played okay. I thought he played better in the first half than he did in the second half. I think in the second half, and I'm going to get to that and the things that I like, I just think he tried to do a lot too much. Not even a little bit too much. I thought he was trying to do too much. But I thought he played good with good pace. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well either. 9 for 20. You know what I mean? Kuzma can't shoot the ball more than Beal. You know what I mean? He can't do that. But Beal can't be dribbling all the time and trying to shoot off the dribble. Like, he got to let Kuzma run the offense and Beal, run around on the floor and get open shots that way. You know what I'm saying? But 9 for 20 is not too good. 6 for 9 from the three-point free throw line. 1 for 6 from the three-point line. So he didn't shoot the ball well at all. But he had 6 assists, 5 rebounds. So, he had that typical Bradley Beal 25, 6, 5 and 5 game. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we want from him. But he has to be much more efficient in regards to his field goal percentage. You know what I mean? And also, I'm going to get to that when I talk about the things I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? I thought the bench, although they didn't, on the box score, if you just look at the box score alone, it looks like they didn't score a lot, and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that at times tonight the bench played well. They played their roles well. Gafford, protecting the paint, played one of his better games in recent memory. You know what I'm saying? Being aggressive. Todd Gibson didn't get on the floor tonight. Gil got some minutes, but for the most part, Gafford is beginning to get back in the good graces of the coach based on the minutes that he played tonight and the way that he played tonight. So I definitely liked what I saw from Gafford. I thought Goodwin, what Goodwin does, comes in, gives us a spark off the bench on both ends of the floor. I thought he did well at times on the defensive end as well as on the offensive end. He got a drive to the basket, just playing physical, just, what Jordan Goodwin does. So I thought he did okay tonight. I thought Kispert always makes the right play, played great off-ball defense, cut to the basket very well. Just typical Kispert things, you know what I mean? Now, they didn't score as much as we would like, but looking at this box score from Kyle Kuzma, 25 shots, 5, 6 of those shots could have been an assist, you know what I mean, to one of the bench players, you know what I mean? So, again, the big three, especially Kuzma, has to remember his role. Less shooting. Not to say we don't want him to shoot, because he does need to shoot. But 25 shots from one player when we have a lot of good, when we play our best ball with ball movement and everybody getting involved, 25 shots is way too much from our second to third option. You know what I'm saying? It's just way too many shots. So I don't want to blame the bench for not getting a lot of shots when you just look at the box score and see that Kyle Kuzma shot 25 shots. You know what I'm saying? I thought in the third quarter we started off slow, but once we shook that slow start, we had some great pace, great offensive rhythm. We were playing the third quarter. I felt was when we played some of our best basketball tonight. You know what I mean? After the slow start. So I definitely liked some of the things that I saw in the third quarter, but unfortunately they couldn't continue that and take it into the fourth quarter and come away with a win. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, that's everything that I liked about tonight's game. You know, it was so-and-so, up and down. Could have won the game, but also was enough to lose the game, and we lost the game. You know what I mean? So with that said, I'm going to start with the things that I disliked. And off jump, man, the Nets started the game fast tonight. So, you know, I didn't like that. I was hoping that we could have came up with a fast start like we did against the Timberwolves. But again, we were on the road playing a much better team than the Timberwolves. And the Nets just started off fast. MVP of the game, Kevin Durant. KD being KD. And I can't even be mad. Like I said, Denny played some good defense on him. Kuzma played some good defense on him. Stripped him, you know what I'm saying, for a fast break. Some fast break points, you know what I mean? So there was some decent defense being played against KD, but KD is KD. You know what I'm saying, man? He had 16 points in the first quarter alone. It's crazy. Ended the game with 39, 13 for 20. You know what I mean? Like, Beal was 9 for 20. Durant was 13 for 20. You know what I mean? So he made 4 more shots. You know what I'm saying? 2 for 3 from the three-point line, while Beal was 1 for 6. You know what I mean? So this just shows you in a nutshell that the difference between a good to great player versus a superstar player. They shot the same amount of shots, but if you watched the game, you saw the impact that Kevin Durant had on the game versus the impact Bradley Beal had on the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's clear as day the tiers of superstar level. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why we come for Beal so much. Well, it's really, you got to blame the organization for paying him the money that they paid him. You know what I'm saying? Bradley Beal's a good player. I don't want him to go anywhere because he can be a closer if the offense is ran the right way. You know what I'm saying? But he's not Kevin Durant. He don't have a one-on-one game like Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was a hard cover tonight. And we were hoping KD was off, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't off tonight, man. He played very well. I thought we had really bad turnovers throughout the game tonight. Just throughout the game. We just had bad turnovers, bad possessions when we could have scored. The offense were janky at times. It wasn't as smooth, as efficient as it was against the Timberwolves the other night. You know what I mean? So I didn't like some of our bad turnovers. We ended the game with 14 turnovers to Brooklyn's 9. So again, 14 turnovers in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's a little too high. You know what I mean? A little more than 3 turnovers a quarter. But overall, 14 doesn't seem that bad compared to if you really watch the game. It felt like we had more turnovers than we actually did. But it's when the turnovers occurred, that's why it felt that we had more turnovers. It was because of when the turnovers occurred, especially in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So just, again, we weren't as smooth as we have been in the previous games. You know what I mean? So we got to get that under control. Will Barton, one of Twitter's most hated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like Barton at times coming in the game, giving us a spark. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it just feels like he's not bringing anything to the table. And tonight was one of those games. Only 2 points, 1 assist, 1 steal. I mean, he only played 14 minutes. So I see coaches cutting down his minutes. But Barton has to, I don't know, man. Barton just dribbling a little bit too much, a lot bit too much. You know what I'm saying? We need more from him. we need a spark off the bench. So I know some people's like, we need to just get him off the team completely. But I like what he can bring off the bench when he's bringing his A game. You know what I mean? Running his game within the offense. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't like ball hog tonight or anything like that. He was giving the ball up. He only took 4 shots tonight. But it's just like tonight he just didn't bring anything on the floor. And at times it felt like, especially tonight when he got on the floor, things just went left. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming him. It wasn't just him. It just seems like when he gets on the floor, the energy gets bad sometimes for us. You know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't like that. The Nets went on a 7-0 run in the second quarter, helped establish their lead. You know what I mean? Helped keep them in the game, gave them confidence. And, you know, it was tough because we were making strides and we were, you know, I think we had the lead for a little bit in the second quarter, but they went on a 7-0 run, and it was just hard for us to get over the hump. It's not like they blew us out. They didn't blow us out. They went up double digits, I think, in the fourth quarter, but it was just hard for us to get back over the hump. They got prolific scorers, whether it's Kyrie Irving or whether it's Kevin Durant. Both of those players alone, their one-on-one games are elite, you know what I mean? So it was hard for us to, you know, contain them when we needed to. And that 7-0 run, I felt, was the start of our bad fortune of not being able to come back to win this game. You know what I mean? Speaking of Kyrie, I felt Kyrie, within that 7-0 run, Kyrie was a big factor in that 7-0 run. He got hot in the second quarter, and then he got hot in the fourth quarter when it's most important. Made some big shots. He ended the game. I thought overall we played Kyrie well, but he ended the game with 27 points, though. It was a quiet 27. He was 9 for 21. So, again, we played good defense on him. He was only 2 for 6 from the three-point line. But when he needed to come up with the clutch plays, he came up with clutch plays, clutch shots. You know what I mean? So we played him well overall, but when we needed to shut him down, we just couldn't. And, again, 27 points. And he was part of the reason why we lost the game tonight. You know what I'm saying? I thought there were times throughout the game where there was just too many defensive breakdowns. We weren't as sharp on the defensive end, really on both ends of the floor, but definitely on the defensive end as we were, especially against the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we just got to work on the defense, especially when we're playing an elite team, one of the better teams in the East. We got to play better defense. You know what I'm saying? Sumner, again, a no-name, a dude I don't really know about, never really heard of. We can't have these type players making impacts against us, you know what I mean? And he made an impact against us tonight. He ended the game with 8 points, but he made some big shots, big threes, 2 big threes. And it was just, again, when he hit those threes, momentum-killing threes, you know what I mean? So I wasn't happy about that. I already mentioned the shaky start to the third quarter, but we overcame that and played some of our best basketball of the game after the shaky start in the third quarter. Beal. Now, let me mention the things that I didn't like about Beal's game tonight, man. He missed too many free throws. That's one. You know what I'm saying? He was, 6 for 9 from the free throw line. He needs to be 9 for 9, 8 for 9. I mean, he's our highest paid player, arguably our best player. But even more than that, man, Bradley Beal, he had 5 turnovers tonight. I know for a fact at least 3 were because he was dribbling the ball too much. I think it's more than 3, but I'm just modestly going to say at least 3 that I can definitely recall. Just he turned the ball over because he was dribbling too much. I didn't like that. And then in the fourth quarter, he reverted back to hero ball Bradley Beal. Beal, man, he cannot let his ego get in the way of the game. You can't let your ego get in the way of the game, Beal. Porzingis was working tonight. And I also, you know what I mean? Not just Beal, but the rest of the team, there were times in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, they forgot about Porzingis. He had 27, but he easily could have had 30 plus if they got him a few more touches. Again, Kyle Kuzma shot 25 shots tonight. Some of those shots could have been passes to Porzingis in the post. They forgot that Porzingis was on the floor tonight. You know what I mean? And Bradley Beal did too, as well. Those 5 turnovers, 2 or 3 of those turnovers could have been passes to Porzingis in the paint, and then Bradley Beal could have ran around and tried to get an open shot. You know what I'm saying? So he reverted back to the Beal that we don't like seeing. You know what I'm saying? The Beal that we like was what we saw when we played Minnesota. Finding his shots, playing within the offense. He was the third leading scorer, but we got the win and we won comfortably. But when he wants to be the ball handler that he's not, he doesn't have the handle to be a ball handler like that. And Coach Unseld has to know that. He has to humble, you know what I mean? I know Bradley Beal's the highest paid player and all that, but Coach Unseld has to protect Beal from himself. That's why we picked up Monte Morris. That's why Goodwin is getting more time. Those need to be the primary ball handlers, as well as Kuzma at times, you know what I'm saying? But Bradley Beal's not supposed, he can't, at times he has to be the primary ball, here and there. But not as much as he was tonight, especially in the fourth quarter. So I definitely wasn't happy with the way Bradley Beal was playing tonight, especially when at crunch time. Just trying to do too much. Play within the offense. Just play within the offense, Bradley. Damn, just play within the offense. Stop trying to be a hero ball player. You're not that guy like that. You are good, but you're not. I just mentioned the difference between you and KD. There's a clear difference. You're not that. Cut it out, man. Cut it out. Can't let your ego get in the way. Play within the offense. But he has some good defensive plays. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just stun on Beal because really we lost the game by 6 points. And the real reason we lost the game is because of free throws. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Bradley Beal was a two ball dominant at times, dribbled a little bit too much. All of that is the case. But if we made our free throws, I mean, what were we? 23 for 34 from the free throw line, and we lost the game by 6 points. If we shot 30 for 34, we would have won the game, regardless of the 5 turnovers. You know what I mean? So I don't want to just pile on Beal, but just to see him revert back to the Beal we don't like seeing was quite disappointing, especially after the success that we had against the Timberwolves. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that he learns from this game and gets back to playing within the offense and realizing that, you have 2 other players that can take the load off of you, and you don't got to be that hero ball Bradley Beal that we have been accustomed to seeing in previous seasons. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hit threes tonight, except for the second quarter. We were 0 for 11 from the three-point line. I think we hit a couple of threes late in the fourth because we were 4 for 8 in the second quarter in the three-point line, but we ended up with 6. You know what I mean? So we must have hit a couple of three-pointers in the fourth quarter, but we missed a lot of three-pointers tonight. Also contributed to the loss, but 24 three-point shot attempts to 26. I mean, I don't want to come for them too crazy because they drove to the basket. They made it an emphasis to try to score in the paint. And then when the defense collapsed, they got the ball out. And you got to shoot threes. You know what I mean? We just got to hit more of them, and we didn't hit the three-point shot tonight. You know what I mean? I already mentioned the free throws again. To me, that's why we really lost the game, because those are points that you just can't leave on the floor. You're going to have bad nights from the three-point line. We have to understand that. But you can't have bad nights on the free throw line, especially against a team like the Nets. That just can't happen. You know what I mean? So that was quite disappointing. Again, I already mentioned it, but I thought that in the fourth quarter, man, they forgot to get the ball to KP. I mean, he had 21 and 12 by the third quarter. He had a double-double by the third quarter. He just came off a 41-point game. How do you forget to get the ball to him? Especially with the Nets' weakness, which is their front court. They're weak at the front court. Nick Claxton's a decent center, but he's thin. He's not. That's a center that Porzingis can actually post up and maybe a little stronger than, which is kind of rare, especially again, when he played against players like Adebayo and Horford. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game where you got to get the ball to Porzingis. You know what I mean? So for them to forget about Porzingis in the fourth quarter again, that's on the point guard as well as the coach. The guards got to get the ball to Porzingis. Kyle Kuzma, if you're going to play point forward, you got to get the ball to Porzingis, period. He is the centerpiece of when we're successful. You got to get the ball to Porzingis and let him make things happen. Again, you can't let the ego get in the way, man. Ego cannot get in the way of what works. You know what I mean? So, again, quite disappointed in that as well. And then I just thought in the fourth quarter when we had a chance to win towards the end, we just got sloppy, turned the ball over, missed shots, gave the Nets easy shots, and they closed the game out on us. You know what I mean? So, just a lot of things that we could have done better, but we just didn't get the job done. And that's just what it comes down to. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. That's really all I have for y'all tonight. You know, the big three were the only. I don't like saying the big three because, again, in the history of the league, really starting with the Boston Celtics, KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, I can't compare our big three to that big three. So I don't like using that. But the best three players on our team were the only players that scored in double figures tonight. You know what I mean? So that really lets you know, it's good that they got their points, but I already mentioned the field goal attempts, especially from Kyle Kuzma. They didn't get the ball enough to their role players for them to get involved. And those three have to also get the role players involved a little bit more. You know what I mean? So, it was a tough game. But, we're not going to win them all. I'm not happy we lost this game, but it's not a bad loss. You know what I mean? It's just a loss against a team that on their home floor, that's one of the best teams in the East. We only lost by 6 with all of the negatives that occurred tonight. You know what I mean? So you got to take the look at the silver lining, I guess. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, that's about it. If you like the content, I would really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel at the Wizards Review on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter as well, at Wizards Review. You can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on NBA 2K23 on the Xbox Series X and S. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, let's just put this game behind us, get ready for the next game. Hope to see y'all next time, all right? Have a good evening. Take care. Peace.